Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know.
Welcome to Drive Culture. I'm Jonathan Rivers, and today I have a 2025 Lotus Emira. And I'm going to tell you why this is one of the best sports cars on the market today. So we'll go over the exterior, the interior, the powertrain, but today we won't be taking this one for a drive because this one's actually for sale here at the Vegas Auto Gallery in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'll post a link to the store in the description down below, and if you want to come and check out this car or even buy this car, be sure to reach out to the head of sales and development, Anup Patel. So if this is content you're after or you're new to the channel, please be sure to click that bell to subscribe, come back for more. And with that, let's get after it. Now guys, here we have the first Lotus I'm bringing here to Drive Culture, and it truly is a special one. The spec, the color combination, the rarity of the powertrain is all in play here, guys. This is definitely one of the best Lotuses you can buy. So let's talk about Lotus here for a second. Obviously historic, brand, and really they've been focused on lightweight sports cars. That's what they've always been known for. You can go back in their history of vehicles. Obviously there's a lot of standouts like the Elise, the Exige, things like that. But this Emira really takes things to the next level for Lotus because this truly feels like the most complete Lotus vehicle they've ever made as far as craftsmanship, quality, design, all of those details, which we're gonna get into here momentarily. But let's talk about pricing, right? So for this sports car, and I might admit, this is really an exotic looking sports car. The MSRP is $106,900, but with the options you have here today and you throw in the DNH, the sale price on this car is $118,600 MSRP. So obviously in the grand scheme of things, that's not cheap, but when you think about the way this car looks, I mean, this car looks like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or really any of the other exotics that are rolling around today at a third of the cost. Now, clearly the performance is a different level as well, but it does have one key trick that most of those other exotic cars don't have, which we'll get to in the powertrain section. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the color, right? So this is a really special exterior color, and it's called Nimbus Gray. It's actually a pretty expensive upcharge for this car. It's over $1,200 to get this paint, but it's totally worth it because it truly is a unique blend of like gray, gold, silver. It really stands out. And we'll also talk about what's unique with the interior once we get to that here in the interior review of the vehicle. But next, let's go ahead and do a full exterior walk around of this Lotus Emira. All right, guys, here we are with the Lotus Emira, and man, does this thing look fantastic. But, just taking my subjective opinion aside, it's really cool because, like I said, this car is rare. You don't see many of these things driving around. Here I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Vegas Auto Gallery checking out this vehicle, but even where I'm based in Los Angeles, you don't see a lot of Emiras rolling around, so you're definitely gonna have something unique and special if you go ahead and choose to buy this vehicle. But let's go ahead and do a full exterior walk around and talk about the design of this Emira because it really not only stands out on the road, but it stands out for Lotus, right? They've never really done a car that looks like this. I mean, it's still got that mid-engine layout, still very small and compact and lightweight, but it just looks different than like an Elise or an Exige from the past. Those cars were super tiny little go-karts. This one has a lot more substance and stance to it, and really can compete against something like a Porsche Cayman. So here we are. Like I said, that Nimbus Gray paint is absolutely amazing. Here under the sun, it shines, it like just changes all kinds of colors. It really does have gold, it has silver, it has gray in it. It really is unique. But I mean, man, let's look at the hood. you can actually see that it is open, it is functional on both sides, right? So that's something I truly appreciate about Lotus. You know, if they were going to make a sports car, it was actually going to have to be all functional in its look and feel, right? Because they're all about lightweight performance. But yeah, it's taking the whole front angle, looks fantastic. Let's come in and look at the Lotus badge there. Very, very nice historic badge. I love the fact that it's all blacked out. Here we take a look at these awesome headlights, which really make this car look super aggressive. And if you get up close, you can actually see it says Emira there. It's kind of like hidden under this other light element there, but man, what an amazing light cluster for the car. I mean, full LEDs throughout. As you come down below, you know, you can see all kinds of venting here. Yes, it's open and functional, even off to the side. As you look at the front opening here, mesh, but you can obviously see that huge radiator underneath. Totally functional. You got that little black lip spoiler down there as well. But let's go ahead and kind of take in the full exterior profile of this Emira, because to me, while I usually say the rear is my favorite view, for me it's the side on this car. Just look at this thing. It looks fantastic. It looks so exotic, right? So I mean, again, if you guys are going to choose a Porsche Cayman, I can't blame you, but I mean, you're not going to stand out the way you are driving this car here. I mean, all of the surfacing, all of it aerodynamics and functional too, just looks amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the wheels here. So these are 10-spoke wheels, painted black, machine finish. Look absolutely fantastic with that Lotus badge there in the center. What's really nice is these are the upgraded tires on this car. So these are actually Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 guys. So literally track tires on this thing, because I can imagine some owners taking this thing out to the track. And these are 245/35 ZR20s up front. So that's right, these are 20-inch wheels. And then peering behind that, I mean, look at that brake package, right? You got a 2-piece brakes, you know, cross-drilled and slotted rotors. The calipers up front say Lotus. They're painted silver. They're massive. It just looks fantastic, and it shows the true performance intentions of the Emira. Here we got these awesome side mirrors, LED turn signals, look super aerodynamic. This really nice lower gloss black side sill, door handles that pop out. And check out this, all of the venting that goes into the mid-engine layout there. And then I just love this. This is a very nice touch. It says Emira V6. So kind of giving it away here, guys. This is the V6 powertrain, which of course we'll cover in detail here momentarily, but very nice badge. And then let's go back to the rear tires. So now we're working with some really wide tires, right? So it's you know, it's obviously a staggered setup, right? Being this kind of mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout. So again, still those fantastic Cup 2 tires, but now still 20-inch wheels, but you're working with some super wide 295/30 ZR20 tires in the back, and you still have that amazing brake package, right? You literally have the same, you know, kind of 4-piston Lotus calipers in the rear that you get in the front. So that is some extreme braking performance. We'll go ahead, make our way to the rear of the car, which again looks super exotic, looks super wide, right? So you can see here, you know, it says Lotus spelled out, and it looks so nice, looks so premium. It's, you know, in black, and against that Nimbus gray paint, it just pops. You got the LED tail lights off on the side, very unique in their shape. We'll go ahead and kind of quickly zoom in at them there. Look fantastic lit up as well. Down below, very aggressive diffuser. Again, got that Vegas Auto Gallery plate there. Here you can see the exhaust. Man, they're like a black chrome finish almost, but they are a titanium finish, finishers here. And you can see the exhaust, you know, peering behind. So this thing not only looks great, but it sounds fantastic as well. But it's great because you also get things like 4 parking sensors here in the rear, and these gaping openings. I mean, you can literally see the tire right there. It's fantastic. And then lastly, come on, being mid-engine, there she is. You can see it right from the glass, the back of the car. It's fantastic, and the way it's on display, branded Lotus, got the big V6 symbol in there, looks super premium. So I think we've covered everything on the exterior of this Lotus Emira. So next, let's go ahead and hop inside to talk about the interior. All right, guys, here we are inside the Lotus Emira, and man, is this a really special place to be. It feels very, very premium in here. And while I say that about a lot of cars, it means a lot here. And the reason why is because not that Lotus had bad interiors per se, but again, if you got into something like an Elise or an Exige, I mean, they were just ultra Spartan little go-karts, right? They weren't really focused on infotainment, leather material, premium seats, things like that. And not that that's what Lotus is all about, right? They're about lightweight, raw sports cars. But I feel like here they knocked it out of the park in the sense that you get that exotic styling, that low super sports car stance, but now inside it really feels like an entire class above. So let's jump in real quick. Love the way the dash looks. You've got fantastic visibility out the front, out the sides, you know, great side mirrors, even looking out the back of the rear. And yes, you do get a little bit of that engine, seeing how it's sitting right behind you in the middle of the vehicle. But overall, the dash design is fantastic. Very nice stitching all across the dash. It has a very nice two-tone interior. We'll talk about the color here in a second. But even here on the top of the dash, there's another badge that says Emira V6. And of course, we'll get into the powertrain here in a second, but you saw that on the exterior as well. So they're clearly trying to tell you something here, that that's a special upgraded powertrain. But as you come down, like I said, it's got a two-tone interior. It's black on tan. And that's really, really premium, right? It's like this like coffee, like almost like a light brown interior, but this combined with that exterior Nimbus gray looks fantastic. And there's even several other Lotus vehicles here at the Vegas Auto Gallery. I mean, they're actually a certified Lotus car dealership, right? So there's several Emiras out here, and spec-wise, this one here might be my favorite, given that it's this ultra premium, like gentleman spec, and knowing that this is a British brand, and you know, from Lotus, it seems like it fits really well. So next, let's go ahead and talk about the steering wheel, which is just fantastic. It doesn't look or feel like really any other steering wheel in the market. Like, this car just feels very bespoke, right? And so the steering wheel is fantastic in the sense that it's very small in diameter. It's a great shape and size. It's leather wrapped, of course, but what's unique is like on the entire outboard of the steering wheel is all perforation, and on the inside is a flat leather with contrast stitching. You do get a center stripe up here at the top. It just feels fantastic in your hands. Now you got all your volume controls and things on the right. You've got your menu controls and things like that on the left. So very good ergonomics, very good and premium switch gear. That fantastic Lotus badge here in the center, and then even Emira in black on this center spoke down at the bottom, which looks and feels really premium. I think this is actually real metal. It just feels really nice to your touch. So as we make our way down the center console, everything is very simple and easy to use. Very analog, and in this day of all digital screens, which it has, it feels really nice. So you come here and all of the vents have little knobs that say Emira, like kind of embossed into them. That looks really premium, all four of them. Come a little bit further down, very easy to use climate control, like very tactile feel for the climate control, very premium switch gear. A little pad here with rubberized area to put your phone. You have drive mode toggle switch, hazard lights, volume controls. Of course, I'm already going to jump into it. You do have a 6-speed manual transmission, so you got the gear lever here. If you actually look further down, which is fantastic, you can actually see they purposely expose all of the area down below, so you can literally see the linkage and the shifting happen as you shift through the gears. So I mean, that again, you don't see that on any other sports cars. I don't even care if it's 3 times the price of that. So hats off to Lotus for making this look and feel really special. As you come further back, that leather material, real aluminum material. Here, you look at this, you lift this up, and then you got the start-stop engine switch. So I think Lamborghini does this on a few of their models too, but it's a very nice touch. When you come back here, you got 2 nice cup holders, so you can actually have drinks inside, and then a very kind of slim but small center armrest with some storage in there. That's very nice. Obviously, there's no second row. We don't need to talk about that, but there is an extra little space in between the seats with a little cargo net as well, so you can store some stuff back there. But next, let's talk about these seats. They are fantastic. Not only do they look fantastic, they feel fantastic. There's so many adjustability here on the driver's side, all kinds of lumbar side bolster support, the way you kind of just fit into the car. It feels truly like a cockpit, and just this tan leather looks so good, but with the black accents, the contrast stitching, Lotus branded here right at the below the fixed headrest. Again, these are some of the best seats I've ever sat in. They look fantastic, right? One of the other things that you'll notice is that there is a little bit of a nice side sill that you got to step over to get into the car, but I didn't feel like I had to fall into the car or do anything like that. The carpet in here is very nice. The floor mats are fantastic. Again, have Emira stitched in, looks super premium. The Alcantara headliner in here is an option included in the price that I talked about. But lastly, let's talk about the audio and infotainment. So first, here in the center display, you've got a 10.2-inch full color touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. So, I mean, that right there is, mind blown on a Lotus, right? You wouldn't expect this kind of infotainment, but that shows you again just how complete and how just they've really elevated their interior design game at Lotus. So up front, right in front, you got a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster that looks really nice, customizable, gives you all kinds of performance readouts and gauges as well, so that's very nice. But lastly, let's talk about the door linings. Again, very nice material, very good switch gear, easy to use, premium door handles, contrast stitching throughout, and it takes you to these massive speaker grills here that are real metal. They're cold to the touch, and they say KEF. So it's a really high performance British audio brand. So it makes sense that it's in a British car, but it's a really premium brand. Let me know what you guys, thoughts are on that. Should they have used one of the other premium audio brands? I don't know. I think it's nice that they stuck within the family, so to speak. So really premium interior. Next, let's go ahead and check out the cargo area. All right, next, let's go ahead and talk about the cargo area of the Lotus Emira. So on the key fob here, there's a button that you push and hold to kind of unlatch the trunk. So there it goes, you lift up, and there it is. It struts take it all the way up. Very premium space inside. Obviously, we'll talk about the powertrain here in a second since it's right here as well. But there's a decent amount of space back here. It is, kind of deep, a little bit narrow, but you could easily fit, like some probably, soft, luggage cases, or even a duffel bag. Pretty good sized duffel bag will fit in here. But I mean, it is a smaller sports car. The good thing is back here alone, you've got 5.3 cubic feet of space. And then inside the vehicle, behind those 2 front seats, like I said, is a pretty big parcel shelf with a cargo net. That area back there is actually 7.3 cubic feet of space, which makes the total 12.6 cubic feet of space. And considering, again, this is a dedicated 2-seater sports car, that's actually pretty good and competitive in its segment. So next, let's go ahead and talk about this powertrain. All right, next, let's go ahead and talk about the powertrain of the Lotus Emira. Now, admittedly, there's 2 totally different drivetrains for the car. So if you want, kind of the entry-level Emira, right, you can actually get a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder from Mercedes-AMG made it to an 8 DCT transmission. So that's literally like the powertrain that comes from a Mercedes, A35 AMG, kind of Mercedes entry-level engine. And it's actually a really good powertrain, sounds really good too. That's kind of the entry level into the Lotus Emira. But if you want to ramp things up, not only from a performance standpoint, but to get that exclusive 6-speed manual transmission, you have to step up to the Emira V6, which has this engine here. And you may not believe it because, again, it is branded Lotus right here on the top of the engine, but the engine is actually built in Japan and sourced by none other than Toyota. But don't let that stir you, right? This is a proper sports car powertrain. It's actually a 3.5-liter V6 that's supercharged, right? No turbocharging, supercharged. And in this configuration here, it makes 400 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque, made it exclusively to that 6-speed manual transmission, feeding all the power to the rear wheels. So it's an explosive transmission and powertrain that, I think is probably worth making that step up from the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. So let me know your guys' thoughts and comments down below related to that. So next, let's go ahead and wrap up this review. All right, guys, that's a wrap. What did you think of the 2025 Lotus Emira? Is this one of the best sports cars on the market today? Are you gonna choose something like this or maybe a Porsche Cayman? Let me know your guys' thoughts and comments down below. Of course, I've already got several Porsche Cayman reviews here on Drive Culture, but if you wanna see more Lotus Cars products on the channel, let me know your guys' thoughts and comments down below because, of course, I would be happy to bring you that content. So if you've joined me before, thank you so much. But if you're new to the channel, please be sure to click that bell to subscribe to come back for more. Thanks, and we'll see you at the next episode.